Where were we? Through a series of digital experiments, I had arrived here. Pixel portraits. Similar to a question in my microthesis, when does an A stop being an A? Martin brought up a point in Tuesday's critique. When can you no longer tell it's a pixel? With that in mind, I took a closer look at the portraits, zooming in to try and form a narrative. These are my final digital results. I was drawn to the bold, abstract quality of these results. I began to think about how I might translate this series, this process, to 3D. I thought back to my mom's initial comments about viewing the spinning wheel as a pinwheel. I wondered how a literal translation of that process could work. That is, what if I crafted a pinwheel and took the same macro approach to documenting its design? Unfortunately, the constructed pinwheel lasted about 2 minutes. I was impatient and wanted to test it, and it broke apart in my hands. Rather than try and remake another one right away, I decided to experiment with the parts of the broken pinwheel to see how transparent the color was. Suddenly, I was brought back to working in Form Studio. I realized that, much like the digital version, this broken pinwheel was still an object. A macro lens would have been great here, but resources are limited, so I started experimenting, initially with my phone, and then with a point-and-shoot camera. These are the final 8. When I shared some of these initial phone images with my classmates, I explained how I wanted to crop in certain areas. They encouraged me to do so digitally, and even suggested I try pixelating them. The final 8 I just shared are unretouched. Their slight imperfections, dust and lint clinging to the pinwheel, are what appeal most to me. Reminders of reality. Still, the idea of zooming in on pixels was too entertaining not to do. I knew the outcome, of course, squares of color, but it was the active process that I wanted. I was processing the physical pinwheel the same way I had the digital pinwheel. And if you consider the digital pinwheel to be a signal of processing to begin with, I was processing the processor. I then processed these images one more time, resulting in another group of pixel portraits, though this time of physical origin. I know what you're thinking. Okay, cool. Now what? I had the same question. Looking at these images all together, I realized that I viewed them as a single series and wanted to present them that way. And so, in closing, I leave you with the pinwheel conversation.